Did you know that the gold in your jewelry wasn't made on Earth? It was forged in the violent death of a star billions of years ago. But getting it out of the ground? That is an engineering nightmare. To find just 6 grams of gold, barely enough for a wedding ring, miners often have to dig up, crush, and process 1 entire ton of rock. From cosmic explosions to underground tunnels hotter than a desert, this is the incredible journey of how gold is made. Welcome to Tech Talks. Let's dig in. Gold is heavy, so heavy that it can't be created by normal chemistry. It requires the most violent events in the universe, supernovas. When these massive stars collapse and explode, they smash atoms together, creating heavy metals like gold, silver, and platinum. This dust was thrown across the galaxy and eventually got trapped inside Earth when our planet was just a molten ball. Because gravity pulls heavy things down, most of Earth's gold sank right to the core. So why can we find it on the surface? Thank the asteroids. About 4 billion years ago, a metallic asteroid bombardment sprinkled a fresh layer of gold onto our crust. Later, hot water circulating deep underground dissolved this gold and pushed it up into cracks in the rocks, forming those famous quartz veins that prospectors dream about. Nature hid the gold, and erosion moved some of it into riverbeds. But you can't build a modern economy just by panning in a creek. We need massive deposits. Finding them is like finding a needle in a haystack the size of a continent. The biggest reserves are in Australia, China, South Africa, Peru, and the USA. Today, geologists use satellites to scan the Earth for magnetic anomalies. Once they find a hotspot, they drill deep into the ground to pull up samples. If the lab results show gold, the heavy machinery moves in. If the gold is near the surface, we use open pit mining. It starts by stripping away tons of dirt. Then, the pit is dug in giant steps called benches to prevent landslides. These mines are so huge, they can be seen from space. When the ground is too hard, engineers drill holes and fill them with explosives. Boom! The rock is shattered into manageable pieces. Then, excavators load up massive haul trucks, somewhat the size of a 2-story house, to carry the ore to the crushers. But sometimes the gold is buried deep, miles beneath our feet. This is underground mining, and it is dangerous work. Miners travel down elevators into a web of tunnels. It gets incredibly hot down here, up to 50 degrees Celsius or 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Massive ventilation systems are needed just to keep the workers alive and pump out toxic gases. Here, they use surgical explosions. Drills bore holes into the vein, explosives are inserted, and they are detonated in a precise millisecond sequence to break the rock without collapsing the tunnel. After the dust settles, remote control loaders grab the gold-bearing rock and send it to the surface. Now we have rocks, but where is the gold? Usually, the particles are so small you can't even see them with the naked eye. First, the rocks are crushed into pebbles. Then they go into giant steel tumblers called ball mills, where steel balls pulverize the rock into a fine dust. This dust is mixed with water to create a sludge called pulp. To get the gold out, science takes over. One method is flotation, where bubbles are injected into the tank. The gold sticks to the bubbles and floats to the top like a metallic foam. But the most common method is cyanidation. It sounds scary, but it's standard industry practice. A weak cyanide solution dissolves the gold, separating it from the rock. The gold is then collected using activated carbon or zinc, leaving us with a rough, dirty metal. Now for the satisfying part. That rough metal goes into a furnace heated to over 1,000 degrees Celsius. The molten gold is poured into molds to form doré bars. These are roughly 80% pure. But banks and investors want perfection. To get there, the gold undergoes electrolytic refining. We use electricity to strip away the final impurities like silver and copper, atom by atom. The result is 99.99% pure gold, also known as 4/9 gold. Finally, it is melted one last time and poured into those iconic ingot molds. It cools, hardens, and shines with that distinct yellow glow that has captivated humanity for thousands of years. From the heart of a dying star to a vault in a bank, that is the incredible life cycle of gold. It's a symbol of wealth, power, and beauty, but it's also a triumph of engineering. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button and share this video with a friend. It really helps the channel. Let me know in the comments, would you ever work in a mine 2 miles underground? I'm Anthony, this is Tech Talks, and I'll see you in the next one.